Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Rad Ruckus Podcast, where we talk about film, life, whatever else. And I'm your host, Luke Lidell. And this was our 4th episode. And our guest, very special guest, was AJ Rome. I met AJ randomly at a dog park while living in LA. And he is just an incredible filmmaker and actor and all-around good dude. So it's really was great listening to him talk. And he started a company called One Grand Film, and it's about just getting your ass out there, making a feature with what you got. And I love that advice. That's how I've lived my life. So without further ado, episode 4.
Now it's like more directional.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good call.
The filmmaker in me.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sorry, I'm going to come and mess with your sound the second we sit down and start recording.
No, I appreciate it. What's up, AJ?
Hey, buddy.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, dude. I definitely wanted to have you on. You've had such a crazy film career, and I always like to kind of tell people too just how we met.
Yeah.
In the world, and it's kind of crazy how me and AJ met. Or you can tell the story.
Yeah, at a dog park.
Yeah.
At a dog park. So this was like, I guess, right before COVID. Mm-hmm. Probably, 6 months before COVID?
Yeah.
Maybe
6 months.
A year? When did you get there?
We got there a year before COVID. So maybe
just under a year.
This was in Los Angeles.
Yeah. In LA, Beeman Park in Studio City. We would bring our dogs, and we'd always be like around each other. And then eventually, I think you overheard me talking about filmmaking. I overheard you talking about filmmaking. I saw all your tattoos and like your Austin hat, and I was like, this guy seems like a big deal. I should probably try and get on his good side. But then our dogs like
were best buds.
Became best buds, and then it was just like pretty easy to talk to, and your wife started cutting my hair, then girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then you guys moved back to Austin.
Yeah. Well, COVID hit. We moved back to Austin, and then you just happened to move to Austin as well.
Yeah. Well, somebody mentioned, Austin was exploding and more accessible, and that was you. And then we were like, we always wanted to do it. We had come for South by in 2016.
About it.
Yeah. And we just knew, filmmaking community like Linklater and Robert Rodriguez and like a little artist town in the middle of Texas, which the Texas part wasn't the allure, it was the Austin part, And then we moved a year later. Yeah, so 2021. Right. We got here. It's been almost 5 years.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah. It's flown by. And you have a little boy?
Yeah, he's gonna be 4 in January,
That's
which is
crazy
nuts.
Too.
Yeah, we were not dads when we met. Now we're both dads.
Yeah,
dads, filmmakers, entrepreneurs.
Yeah, it's a different life.
It's tough. It's really hard to be a really good dad, but also
have to be on
build
the grind.
A business. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
How are you finding it? You're newer into it than I am. I've kind of found a little bit of a foothold now.
Yeah, I feel. At first, the first at least 6 months or so was really hard to work at all.
Yeah.
But now I'm feeling really good. I've been working a lot, and it's it's giving me that drive more to work.
You've got a new reason, motivation to get stuff done.
Totally.
I know. Same.
Yeah.
But then Daddy, can you come play with me? And I'm like, oh man. This is so hard because, of course I want to come play with you, but I also know I'm a flow state person.
Yes. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
And then when I break that flow, man, I might as well throw the whole day away. So it's like this constant battle between everything I'm doing, every keystroke at this computer is to give you a better life.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of taking the sacrifice now of I need to borrow some time while you're still young so we can make some of the later time even better.
Right. So you can invest in his future and stuff. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, yeah, it's a balance, but you got to keep working for the family.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like room for, because I feel like I'm just always like now at least trying to optimize whatever I'm doing, but like optimizing that like scheduling, and it's like getting into that flow state faster and getting out of it.
I've
like
literally got like gym time 3 days a week on my calendar, and it goes into like I've got maker time blocked out so nobody can book calls with me at that those points, because it's like,
what'd you call it? Maker time?
Maker time.
Oh.
So that's an Alex Hormozy thing. There's like admin time, which is like respond to emails, but then there's maker time, which is like turn off your notifications and focus on making something. So for me, with like One Grand Film, which I know we'll probably get into that, I'm making a ton of content, just ads, and I'm gonna start very shortly doing a hopefully daily, maybe 3 times a week, just like long form YouTube video.
Oh, cool.
For the channel, so I can just start to get more of that thought process out there and kind of engage more filmmakers and work on the organic side of things. My ads are working really well right now, but like that maker time is like, how do I focus on a creative block of time where I can just do that and not get constantly distracted, which is, it's very imperfect because distractions are everywhere all the time,
especially now.
Yeah, and especially with little boy running in.
Daddy,
no, 5 minutes. Let's play Transformers in my room. Just 5 minutes, please. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's go play Transformers.
Just make it part of the
5
video.
minutes.
All right, we're going in my son's room.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Transformers time. Yeah.
So what's long form on YouTube like considered?
So I think most of the people that I subscribe to make like really highly edited, polished, like essay type videos,
like 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, like 10 to 20.
10
yeah.
20? Okay, yeah.
This is more uncut, straight, like I'll just pick up a topic for the day, and that might be like writing. Like I've got a video in mind where it's like, watch me write a script. I'm gonna write an entire script in like 90 minutes. And you can watch the whole process to hear how I think about it, to see the mechanisms that I use and all that stuff.
Sure.
Because I think that filmmakers, like, I want to give kind of like, I think before we even started rolling, podcasts, like you're at the gym, you're in the car, you're doing dishes or whatever, you want to have your headphones in. If I can provide that sort of 2 times, 3 times a week long form thing that a filmmaker can get up and just like hear new tactics. It's kind of the Tim Ferriss show for filmmaking is the way that I'm looking at it. It's like, how can you wake up and listen to something motivating, get the reps of like understanding, just rewiring your brain as to how the film industry works and different ways in and best practices and all of that, then that's the kind of content that I want to create. And I just want to just start dumping, like, the cool thing about YouTube right now is it's all algorithm based, and it's all based on like closed captions. And so it's going through the content and it's figuring out who to get that content to. So you can go as niche as you possibly want, and it'll try and weed out and find those people that need to see your content. And that's really the goal. So I can bring more people into the One Grand Film world, basically.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's back up a little bit. I just want to hear about like how you got into the business, and then like kind of your whole journey through it, because I think your journey is fascinating.
Yeah, thank you. It's been long. This is 20 years. It just hit.
Damn. Yeah. I'm at like 11 or something.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, well, and we'll get into that too. But I don't want anybody to be at 20 years who isn't already at 20 years. That's only where I am.
Oh yeah, everybody's on their own journey.
Everybody's on their own journey, but like if I can cut that the distance down between you and your goals, like that's
right. That's
because I struggled, man. So I guess I'll start there. I moved to LA at 20 years old with my two best friends. We rented a U-Haul. From Fort Collins, Colorado. Oh, yeah. We rented a U-Haul, the three of us, one of those old, I mean, this thing had like 470,000 miles on it. We had to drive it through the mountains. We were towing a car on, like, it was an all-wheel drive car, so it was like towing that. It was barely making it up over the mountains. Like, you just hear the engine like, you're like, are we just going to roll back down backwards? Like, we somehow made it. We stayed at the Roosevelt Hotel, if you have any knowledge of LA, like the Roosevelt in Hollywood is like where the first Academy Awards were, which is just kind of kismet. It's kind of funny, but we stayed there the very first night. We valet parked our U-Haul in the parking lot with like all the Ferraris and stuff. And I remember watching one of the guys try and like back the truck with a trailer next to like Maseratis and stuff. We're just like, oh my God, what is happening? But we were young and dumb. We had no connections. We had no money. We got a 1-bedroom apartment for...
That's the dream, though. You moved to LA when you're a kid and just like go in.
That was it. And I'm so glad I did it. Like, I'm so glad I did it. And I was just like, I was dumb. And I think that dumbness actually got me further because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I didn't have this like preconceived notion. And so we were like sneaking into huge parties. Like we knew the Roosevelt because we stayed there. So we kept the keys. We'd like go up the fire escapes and go into these big parties. Like we went to like a Stuff magazine, if you remember that. Stuff magazine party. And then like we snuck into an Emmys party and like got to see Mary J. Blige on stage, like on top of the pool at the Roosevelt. We were like eating sushi and
that's a great memory.
Yeah, David Hasselhoff like ran into me and Heidi Klum was chasing after her. Like all these weird little, like I just moved to LA and I've already got these stories and I knew we were doing something a little bit differently because we started doing background work like right away. Like day 2, we tore one of the little pieces of paper off the thing that said like, pay $80, be in big movies or something. We're like, okay, cool. That sounds like a fair trade. And it got us work. And we were like on these movie sets and we would be hanging out with the other extras, kind of sharing stories. And the fact that we were already like, we had snuck into multiple movie premieres. Like we were just like, we lived near Hollywood Boulevard. So we'd walk to the Chinese theater like every day. Or the Roosevelt and see what was going on there. We'd like look at the party. We'd look at what people were wearing. We'd go back to our apartment, get in those clothes and like go sneak into the party.
Yeah, that's sick. That's so fun.
And so that was how we came up. But at the same time, like we had no practical knowledge of what getting into the industry meant or how, and nobody to point the way, no mentors or anything. So that just meant like figure it out yourself. And so the first thing I did, so we did extra work for the first like 9 months, and I got to work on the Prestige and the Fast and the Furious 3 and like Knocked Up.
Oh, you were on the Prestige?
Yeah, I'm in the cover photo that they show like Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale sitting in the audience. I'm like 2 people down in a bowler's hat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like on the IMDb photo. It's pretty fun, but just little young me having no idea who Christopher Nolan is, barely know who Christian Bale is. I'm like, it's Wolverine,
right.
But it was like, then it was like, okay, but now you have to figure out like how to actually do this.
Right.
And we had no idea. And my friends weren't moving there to be filmmakers. So I was really on my own. Like one was a musician. And my other friend, Sean, he's just like a genius working for Google, living in Hawaii. He dropped out of high school to move to LA with us. And
dropped
he was
out of high school.
Failing out of high school and then got scooped up by Google as an engineer. And he's worked for them for the last like 7 years or something.
That's wild.
So he's just
without
one of those
a college
smart guys.
degree?
No college degree. And they found him.
That's nuts.
So he's just a smart dude. But so I was on my own. It was really like...
This was your dream.
This was my dream. Yeah. And after 2 years, they had both left. Fortunately, I found a couple other people that were like sort of on the same path. And, and then it was like scheming and devising ways to try and like, we're going to maybe write a script or we're going to do that. We ended up I met the bulk of my friends playing beer pong at bars, like Big Wangs in Hollywood. If you remember, that was like my stomping ground, and that's where I met all of my friends playing beer pong. And so then it naturally came to me. I was like, I've got friends who are actors that are good at beer pong. Let's make a beer pong movie. And so that was the first script I ever wrote, was this like $2 million budget, thinking like, I'm gonna write this low budget movie, and somebody's gonna give me $2 million, and I'm gonna make this movie. And again, just sort of speaking to age and naivete, and trying to like do things your own way. Right. But that movie never got made. I chased it down for probably 7 years, and then like the economy collapsed in 2008 through 2010, and nobody was
picking up any scripts.
Nobody's gonna invest in a 22-year-old kid who's never made anything before, and that was kind of and I was always inspired by like Kevin Smith. He made Clerks for like 27 grand.
Oh man, the 90s like filmmaker Robert Rodriguez. It's like what did he shoot El Mariachi for? Like
$7 grand.
$7 grand.
$7 grand. Yeah. And so, but I didn't know their stories well enough to think that was the route I should take. So I spent 5 years in LA. And like I said, I had worked on Knocked Up as background. So I got to interface with Jonah Hill a little bit.
Nice.
And so then I moved to Louisiana in 2010 because the industry exploded there. I had met a couple of my best friends playing beer pong that moved back because the industry was so much easier to get into in Louisiana than it was in LA.
So that 5 years you were in LA, you were mostly surviving on extra work and just kind of like...
I did extra work for the first 9 months. Okay. Then I got a production assistant job and kind of learned like indie filmmaking at its rawest form. Like just... there's no union like cutoffs, like you grab an apple box, you grab a light stand if you have to, like help load the grip truck, like that kind of thing. Which was like formative, like and I realize now I think I learned way more than I thought I did on those sets because I did that for 3 years and made a living as it.
Did you like kind of know at that time you were like, I kind of want to be behind the camera some, or were you still?
I did like I think. Yeah, I probably should have said that at the beginning. Like, I knew I wanted to be an actor, but then I was like, if I can't be an actor, I'll be a writer. If I can't be a writer, I'll be a director. If I can't be a director, I'll be a producer. Like, I just knew I wanted to make movies. And it didn't really... I knew I was interested in all of it, but I wasn't sure how that was really going to, like, manifest.
Right.
And so, chased down that script for 5 years. Nothing happened. The industry collapsed. My job went with it. So I had, like... a fork in the road moment. It was like my first act turn. I was like, I could either stay in LA, keep doing like valet jobs. That was another thing that I was doing. Or I could like take a big leap and go somewhere else that I might have better opportunity. And so I moved to Louisiana. I spent 4 years there. But when I first got there, 21 Jump Street was shooting.
Oh, yeah.
And so in that same 5 years that I moved to LA, I had also done background on Campus Ladies, which was Jonah Hill's first show.
Okay.
So I saw Jonah Hill go from like guest star on Campus Ladies to like supporting actor in Knocked Up to Oscar nominated for Moneyball and writing and producing and starring in 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
And I was still doing background work.
Right. That's wild, yeah.
That was like a huge kick in the pants for me because I was like...
You're like, this kid's like doing it, yeah.
If he could do that in 5 years, like I'm doing something wrong. Because I went from doing extra work to doing extra work. Like I hadn't moved anywhere.
Right.
And so I
had heard, I don't know if this is true, but he was like best friends with Dustin Hoffman's kid. And Dustin Hoffman kind of was like, you should be an actor. That's what I had heard a long time ago.
I wouldn't be surprised.
True. Yeah, I mean, if you're in LA, you just kind of know those kind of people.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if a little bit of connection, a little bit of nepotism. But it's like, at the end of the day, he's wildly talented. Like, you can't take that away from him. And so nepotism can get you in, but that doesn't, like, fortify a career by any means.
Absolutely not. You have to, like, be a really hard worker, and, you know. And somewhat talented, but mostly you got to work hard.
Yeah, exactly. So, Yeah, at that point I was like, I gotta stop doing extra work. I gotta take my career seriously. And I got in my best friend Dean's acting class, got an agent, got the headshots, and about a year later I booked my first like decent sized role opposite Will Ferrell on the campaign. And that was just like, okay, I did it. I'm on the right track. I'm moving in the right direction. It was sort of a signifying to me, like, you're doing the right thing.
Right.
Keep going.
And this was in Louisiana. Where
Yeah.
they filmed.
So this was 2013. Yeah. I booked it at the end, like November 2012, shot it January 2013, and it came out in, I think, August of that same year.
And had you joined SAG at this point?
No, so after the campaign, I got like Vampire Diaries and Bonnie and Clyde and a couple other little things, and then I joined SAG after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like got a couple.
That's amazing. You got that role pre-SAG. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was the thing with like moving to a right to work state.
Sure.
Was like they just hire who they hire, and then that basically Taft-Hartley'd me more or less. I had actually gotten my SAG vouchers on a movie called Bobby that Robert F. Kennedy movie that Emilio Estevez directed. Yeah. I got my SAG vouchers on that. So I was already technically like SAG eligible, but it was the campaign that was like, all right, you're going to be... It was funny too, because I had just worked on an indie film, my first lead role in an indie... No, this was like a supporting role on another tiny little budget film, and I was working with these... it was like a makeup artist. She was a makeup artist on that set, but then I saw her on the campaign and she was background, and she was like, "Hey, good to see you." And she was like, "Yeah, our room's over there." And I was like, "I've got a trailer out there." And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, "Well, yeah, I've got lines." "You're a principal in this?" I was like, "I guess so." It was like so weird at that point, to like finally you do so much background work and you watch like the main actors do their thing for so long that then it's your turn to like, or for me it was like my turn to be on the other side of that, and I'm like, all right, it's like Will Ferrell, who's one of my heroes, and I have to have like a South Carolina accent, and I've got to remember my lines, and I've got to wait 2.5 minutes before my character even like is in the scene. And then I got to stand up and not mess it up, and like all of these just like, it was a weird day. It was a weird, but like 35 takes in 7 hours looking Will Ferrell in the face. And, it was a crazy day. That was probably one of those big, like inflection points that, probably changed me forever in a way.
Sure.
But that was, was
there any like bust out laughing moments or anything, or?
After every single take, everybody would just end up dying laughing, because you're holding it the whole time. You're working with him, just waiting. And then it was Jason Sudeikis with him and in the scene with us, and it was a hilarious scene, and no one saw that movie.
I still haven't seen it.
I'm like, I'm gonna get like a Will Ferrell movie, and then like no one sees it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, and then
maybe it'll be a cult classic someday.
I'd hope so. I think it's a politics movie. I think it's too soon.
Right.
Once politics goes away, people will figure that movie out.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, me too, man. God, me too. But that was huge. Booked a couple more acting things, and then I was making like little things, like little tiny short film, kind of just like experimental things. With my then best friend, now wife. She introduced me to the like indie world. Like I didn't know who the Duplass brothers were. Like I had only sort of been, drinking from the teat of like corporate America and like these massive movie studios, and didn't even know that there was like this little indie world that really existed. Right. And I'd heard of Kevin Smith by way of his studio films. So I still wasn't making the connection that there was like potentially an easier path smaller movies, like things that you could make to get you noticed, that you didn't have to wait for permission for. And then we got...
And you met your wife, Ashley, in acting class.
In Dean's class, yeah, and my best friend's acting class in
right?
Louisiana,
right.
yeah. And so she...
And had she moved there?
So she
recently?
went from Missouri to Dallas, and then she was... and then she was driving like 6 hours one way for acting class. Like, that's how dedicated she was. Like, she'd be driving for like 12 hours to go to acting class for like 3 hours. And then a mutual friend suggested, like, you should go to Louisiana. Like, there's a lot more opportunity there. So she ended up moving there. Very similar story to 2 or 3 of her friends. She was like living in the living room with them, and she was coming to acting class, and that's where we met. And she introduced me to the Duplass brothers, and I just started binging all their stuff and was just like, this is like, it felt so different from anything that I had ever seen before, because I was just so used to like studio films. It's what I grew up watching. And it just made it more accessible and more possible. Like, we could go make something with just like a crappy little camera, and somebody could watch it and care, you know? And that was huge. And then, like, we made a couple other things. We made a pilot episode of a show called Wet in New Orleans. It was a very much like, we're stealing kind of the concept of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and doing like doing a New Orleans
I thought
version.
about that for Austin.
I know I'm not the only person that had this brilliant idea. You know what I mean? And so we had fun making that. We had a little bit of a budget. Somebody gave us like $5,000. So that was our first time working with money and hiring people and stuff. And every one of these things you just learn. You learn so much from. And then we made our first feature at the end of 2013, beginning of 14, a movie called Sulfur. We ended up getting like $13,500 for it.
Okay. And we did a crowdfunding campaign? Or?
No, we was our first time like approaching people with money and asking them for it, you know, which is always a really scary thing.
Oh yeah. It's still scary.
It's still scary. It's terrifying.
Still weird, yeah.
But you get used to it the more you do it. But it's still the no is like the hardest part. But yeah, so we made this movie. We wrote it around locations we already had. Actors we knew we wanted to work with, so it was like me and Ash, and Dean and his wife Michelle, and we tried to make it as small as we could in our minds at that moment, but we took a bite off way bigger than we could chew. We were trying to do way too much with this tiny little budget, and and then it got like rattled around in a couple of different editors' hands for like 3 years before we saw a rough cut.
Whoa. And
then by the time I saw the rough cut and Dean, we were both just like, I do not want this movie out there, like representing who I am as an artist. Especially since it was coming out so long after we made it. Yeah, that's
a hard pill to swallow, but sometimes, you know, you got to, I guess, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, if we had spent more money on it, maybe it would have been a harder choice, but because it was like such a low amount of money, we were like, and not that $13,000 is not a lot of money, but in movie terms, it's like nothing. Sure. Yeah. And so it became a very easy exercise in like, do you put work out there just to put work out there, or do you want to sort of define who you are as an artist? And I've always, you know, I've been made fun of it many times, but like, I want to curate my career as much as I can. And I think maybe now, since I've had a little bit of success here and there, people are like maybe more onto that, but I was always afraid to tell people that, because I guess I'll just tell like one of the instances so I can wrap some context around it. But basically, like, I was in Dean's acting class, and this is just one instance of this happening, but he brought a casting director into the class so we could all sort of meet a casting director and get like feedback and audition in front of her and stuff. Yeah. And at some point she was going through the room like asking everybody like what we wanted, what our goals were and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do a bunch of little roles and try and like work my way up into lead roles. I want to create my own work, and I want to do lead roles. And I got snickered at. And even somebody pulled me aside afterward and was like, you can't say that kind of thing to a casting director. Like, you can't, you're trying to subvert their job in some way. Like, you have to go through these proper channels, and everybody thinks you're ridiculous for trying to do it in another way. And so I became very like protective, like, okay, I guess I'm just not going to tell people how I feel or the way that I want to do it. But I was influenced by like Rodriguez and Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and Kevin Smith and these like self-starters that just made it happen on their own. So I'm like, if these other people are doing it, why can't I say out loud that that's the way that I want to approach my career, you know? And like I said, now I think I've just driven people crazy enough with, you know, just like putting that out there and actually trying to do something that I'm not scared of it anymore. And I think other people have been like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's sort of working. So, you know, I don't catch too much flack for it anymore. But yeah, that was really, because you don't know what you don't know at the beginning. And when people tell you you're doing it wrong, you listen to them, and you can reshape your whole life around these expectations that other people have over how you should do things. And that's like so dangerous.
It is so dangerous. You really got to just have that confidence. Like, whatever your dream is, you can make it happen. You just have to put in the work and keep at it. But like,
and not listen to other people. Exactly.
Because that's their limitations.
Exactly.
And you can't put their limitations on yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. So we knew we didn't want to release that movie, so we went back to the drawing board. We saw Mark Duplass's South by Southwest talk in 2015, just on YouTube, where he's got a keynote speech called "The Cavalry Isn't Coming." Have you seen that?
No.
And he talks about how basically, like, no matter how much success you I think you told me about this. Okay, I highly recommend it to anybody watching or listening. Like, just search in YouTube, South by Southwest, Mark Duplass keynote, "The Cavalry Isn't Coming." It rewired my brain again. It was another one of those moments that I can point to and say, like, so much of my life has been changed because of this 1 hour talk.
Yeah, I think I have heard that at some point. He's like, basically, you're not getting a phone call from anybody.
Yeah.
Like, no one's coming. Yeah.
Nobody's coming to save you except for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're the only one in control of anything.
Yeah.
And the more slack you give,
it's like the truest thing, not just to filmmaking, but to life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you want something, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And you want to push against that as much as you can and like deny it, and the more time you spend doing that, the more time you're taking away from your own career, you know? Yeah. And like, you have to just, I mean, you did it. I think that's why, you know, we connected so quickly. We were like, I asked you what you'd done, and you were like, yeah, I made a feature. I'm like, oh, cool. Let's talk. You know, it was so easy to just bond over that. So right after Sulfur and watching that thing with Mark Duplass, he gives it like the 8 steps you're going to take to grow your film career. And number like 5 or 6 or 7 was make a feature film for $1,000. $1,000 film. Yeah. We did it. We went and made a film for $1,000 called Go Crazy, Go Mad. And it was just like 4 actors and 2 crappy cameras, like Canon 5Ds, and recording our lavs into our iPhones. So we were starting and stopping our own sound. And we made this little movie and submitted it to all top tier festivals, and it didn't get into any of them.
Sure.
And that didn't matter. Like, it just proved that we were capable of telling long form stories without permission. And that just became like the calling card for everything. I remember I was driving Uber, and I would get like studio executives in the car and tell them I made a film for $1,000. And they're like, well, that's impossible. And the number of times I've heard
yeah.
it's impossible to make a film for $1,000, and I'm like, just watch.
That's another thing I respect about you so much, because that's how I've always been in the filmmaking world. It's just like, let's fucking make it happen. I know this location, these actors will fucking
exactly,
like,
dude.
It's like, you can make a film for $1,000.
If you tell yourself you can't, you will be right.
Yeah, exactly.
If you tell yourself you can, you will be right.
Dude, I wish more people got that. You know, I mean, it's like the most true. Yeah, and we don't even know how it works, really. You know, like, but like the universe listens to whatever you're telling yourself.
I couldn't agree more.
It's like this feedback loop.
Yeah, you put it out there, and it's like, what is the reticulator activating system or something? You start to see the thing that you're looking for all the time.
Yeah, it's the old Rumi quote: "What you seek is seeking you." That's it. It's ancient as fucking.
And that works on the negative side too. Apply it to both.
Exactly.
Because if you don't want to achieve anything, you will find roadblocks all the way. You will make excuses. You will find all the reasons the world doesn't want you to have what you want, or you can just say, I'm not listening to that side. I'm like going to chase the thing I want to chase and like make it happen. And that's the end. And my only limitation is myself and my creativity.
So true.
So after we made Go Crazy, Go Mad, I had a bunch of friends kind of approach me after that and go like, how did you do that? I want to do that. And Octavio Pisano, who was in the movie, who just finished a 5-year stint as a lead character on Law & Order SVU, was the first one to come to me and say like, how do we do this? And so I helped him shoot a movie that he calls Film School. It was kind of like Sulfur was for me. We went and made a thing. We did the whole long form story, did the whole thing. And he realized like, same thing as me. He didn't want that story out there to be the first thing that represented him. It was a bigger idea for a movie that we didn't have the budget to do in the way that was in his mind.
But y'all shot it anyways?
We shot the whole thing. Well, we didn't realize that till after we had shot it, you know?
Yeah.
Right. And then I had a couple other friends, and then I realized like, okay, well, I could boil this down into a course, you know, because I took very specific steps to put a movie to write it that way, to cast it, to get locations, to budget it, you know, all that stuff. So I was like, if I can put that together in a course, then I can sort of teach a man to fish rather than like trying to catch fish for all my friends. And so that was like the inception of One Grand Film, was literally just a course called One Grand Film. And now it's become a whole company, and you know, I've got about 45 filmmakers that are all in process making feature films now for around $1,000, and then I've got an email list of about 7,000 other filmmakers and almost 800 in my other community as of right now when we're recording this, and it's growing, and I can see, you know, I'm running ads, and I'm basically just putting that idea out there that more people don't. Like, if you're serious about a film career, you don't have to wait for permission, you know, and I don't know, I just came to realize that so much of the industry is a lottery. It's like you get an agent and you audition and you do thousands and thousands and thousands of auditions.
Especially as an actor.
Yeah, and you get these teeny tiny little roles, and half of them, more than half of them, you don't even care about. That's not why you got into the industry, was to play like one-legged tow truck driver or whatever. An actual audition I had once.
Same with crew, really, though, too. Like, I mean, even feels like a lot of times the crew jobs can be better than the, you know, acting jobs you're getting, but like, it's still, you don't necessarily care about that commercial you're shooting or whatever it is.
And it's not a direct route to becoming a writer-director.
No, yeah.
You know, you get stuck. You get stuck in that crew position forever, and that's all anyone knows you as, and that's the phone calls you're getting, and so then you end up on the hamster wheel of your crew position going like, well, I make really good money when I'm shooting, but when I'm not shooting, I'm panicking and I'm going broke. So now I'm just waiting for the next job. Yeah. And then you're on this hamster wheel, and you find no time to create for yourself. And so that's another lottery, like climbing the ladder. You know, I've seen almost no examples in 20 years of friends go from like being a PA to an AD to a director.
Yeah, that seems like a really rare case, people will tell you that's the way to do it.
It's wild to
and
me.
It feels like hardly anyone has
No
done
one
that.
does it because you just
say you're a director, and then you're a director,
and you go make something.
You go make
That's
something.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then like screenwriting competitions, like I'm listening to an interview with the guy that founded the Blacklist right now, and it's like very altruistic reasons that he started it, and he's trying to get writers discovered and stuff, and that's great, but like if you just solely want to be a writer,
right,
that's different. Just want to be a writer. You don't want to have any part of any of the rest of it. You want to sell your script. You want to be able to say, I wrote that thing that somebody else made. Fine. Keep polishing your scripts. Submit to the Blacklist. Like, make that your thing. If you want to be a filmmaker, it does not, like, I've had friends win the Nichols Fellowship. They won the whole thing.
That's crazy. Yeah.
8 years ago. Yeah. Still not produced.
Yeah,
they've never had anything produced. They don't even have writing jobs.
That's wild.
They take general meetings all the time with production companies and stuff, but they aren't even produced writers.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that was the way, you would assume the people who win those things would at least be the ones that get in. And it's like, that's not even...
No, yeah.
That doesn't work either. So if I can't do a screenwriting competition, if I can't audition my way in, if I can't, like, work my way up the ladder from the crew position, like, how do you get in?
Right. You
make something that people care about.
Exactly.
And if they don't care about that first one, you make more shit.
Right. And most likely they're not going to care about that first one or that second one too much. Like, you get better and better. Like, I mean,
exactly.
Screenwriting and filmmaking goes so deep. Like, it's...
And I tell people all the time, like Christopher Nolan's first movie was $6,000.
Yeah.
$6,000. Like, this multi-mega billion-dollar box office Oscar winner earner started his career on a $6,000 film. Like, what is your excuse? If Christopher Nolan can do that, why are you not making a film with what you've got right now? Yeah. Because we like to impose those limitations. Yeah, and that was the cost. That's where the $6,000 went. Otherwise, it would have been free.
Yeah.
It was like he's shooting it with his friends on the weekends.
Right.
And so, if Christopher Nolan can do that, any of us can do it. But also, Following wasn't a box office phenomenon.
No.
The only reason we know about Following is because Christopher Nolan is Christopher Nolan now.
Yeah. If that's all he made, then
so I see so many filmmakers get hung up on this idea that their first movie needs to go to Netflix or be this big, like, global phenomenon, and it's like, no, that's the wrong goal.
Right.
If you can get that movie to one person who sees the promise of you as an artist, that makes fundraising easier, that makes writing your next film easier, that makes, like, just getting the next film made easier, that's the goal of your first film. Building the confidence and the team that come along with making something, like, that's the goal.
Right.
And that takes the pressure off it being incredible. And then if you can make it for nothing, then you're not, like, financially in this position where you've got investors breathing down your neck and everybody's got these expectations of what this movie's supposed to do. Like, Robert Rodriguez, he went on a huge podcast tour recently. I don't know if you heard any of them.
I listened to him on Joe Rogan.
Okay. Was he talking about brass knuckle films? Yeah. So he's talking about, like, just committing to a body of work. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what filmmakers need to do. Like, realize you're not going to become a millionaire off your first movie. You're not going to become a millionaire off your second or third, most likely either. But if you commit to that body of work, you learn the craft of filmmaking. Right. You get better at it, and then you earn the right to make money at your job.
Totally. And if you just care, like, if filmmaking is your dream, you just show up every day and do it. Like, and it's not about the outcome. Exactly. It's about the process. Exactly. Yeah. Which is really hard for a lot of people. And then, like, I think what you're teaching people with just go out there and make your movie. A lot of people don't even know if they want to be filmmakers because it's a hard thing. And you don't know until you've done it. Exactly. You got to go do it and see, like, go do it so you don't, like, waste time, like, with one toe in, one toe out kind of thing, because if it's not for you, then it's not for you. You gotta love this shit. It is long days. It's moving a lot of stuff. It's
stress, logistics,
yeah.
and paperwork and insurance and all of those awful things, but it all leads to the most fun job in the world.
Yeah.
When you get to be on set making stuff, it's like, it's the best thing ever, you know? Like, for Dead Dawn, we did like almost all practical effects.
That shit is so fun.
Dude, I mean, like, that's why you do it, you know? Yeah. And it was 14 days on set, you know? And it's like, so you put in 3 years of work to get those 14 days of magic, you know, with your friends making something really special. And then you craft it in the edit, and then you get to release it to the world and, you know, hope people enjoy it. And then if they do, like, you get a chance to go do another one. And that's like the coolest thing in the world. I've been listening to the Roger Deakins podcast a lot. That's actually what I'm listening to. If you're not listening to it, it's amazing.
I need to start. I've listened to a couple, but
man. But James, his wife, has said something that I've never heard before, but I guess it's a pretty common thing amongst like the top people in the industry, which is everybody wants to make a killing, but nobody wants to make a living. It's like, so everybody wants this like wild outsized success,
right,
but nobody wants to
put in the work,
to just like make a living at it, like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's I feel like that is the thing about just showing up, and I know what you're saying, but like people are always envious of like the successful moments, but once they look into what went into that, and that maybe it's not exactly, but that's the living part to me, is like living. It's the day to day, like what you're doing with your days. Exactly. That build up into the success.
They want to make the movie. They want it to make $100 million in the box office. They want the red carpets and all that stuff, but they don't want any of the stuff that you don't ever get to see, which is just like,
which isn't glamorous. Even on high budget sets, that shit is not glamorous.
No. It's, in fact, it's way more stress. You know, like, I think that's what I love about
longer days, really. Like, on the bigger sets. I mean, for not everybody, but like...
but I mean, like, coming up as a PA, you know, you realize, like, you're there before everybody, you leave after everybody, you work harder than everybody else, you make less than everybody else, you know, like, you are busting ass to try and get even the smallest amount of recognition for, like, doing your job well. And that's few and far between. And so you're... And then, like, shit rolls downhill. So everybody's just like, if something goes wrong, it all lands on the PA, and the PA, you know, like, and that was my experience. And I'm glad I went through that, because I just have such an appreciation for every crew member. Like, I try on my sets to treat everybody like a person, not a job title.
100%.
Because, like, man, crew morale is everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
People don't get that either. And, like, I mean, that'll make your film real shitty if you have bad crew morale. You gotta treat everybody well, and, like, movie making's the sum of all the parts. Like,
it is.
You need even the PA. You need to get lunch to people so they can eat. So.
And that's the biggest freaking part of it. Like, keep people fed and caffeinated, keep them happy, make them feel heard as artists. Like, if you've got the extra time, you've finished shooting a scene, and you can ask your crew, like, hey, is there anything else you saw we should have got? Like, whoa, I could have an idea of this? Like, sure. Like, let's get that shot of that insert or that close-up, or, you know what I mean? Like, making people feel heard instead of like, you guys are all here to make my dreams come true, which is like, it's just awful, that like director dictator thing. I never want to be one of those.
I told this story on the last podcast, but I was on the set of Walker, one of the episodes, and it was a really big episode where, you know, there was like 300 people on set, and there was like jets and, you know, like a ton of police cars, and but I was hanging out with the director that day, and he was just so chill. He was just bouncing around, making sure everybody was doing their job, and I was just like, man, you are crushing it. And he was like, yeah, it's kind of like hosting a party. And like, I keep telling myself that it's so true though. Like set vibes are everything.
Everything, man, because you get one just rotten apple and that shit festers and goes in every direction.
Yeah.
Like, you get one black hole person on set that's sucking everybody else's energy.
Yeah, and
everyone feels
as a director, that's a hard thing. But like, I feel like you nip it in the bud and like just like, you either give them a chance to correct themselves or you just like send them on their way.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It'll just make the project suffer so hard.
Yeah, but like when everybody's having fun, man, it's it's magic. It's magic. I think that's the reason we get into it, is for the magic. And so keeping that like in mind and aiming for it while you're on set, aiming for magic, you know, to create that feeling that you had when you were a kid in the theater, getting to watch this thing happen. Like, that's the best part. And I understand like there's so many obligations and stuff that help you lose sight of that along the way, but like, I think that's where wonderful projects like standout projects come from, or people that keep that magic alive on set. You know, that's been my experience with the sets that I've been on, and the outcome of the movie, I think, or project, TV show, whatever it is directly related to the director's ability to like keep that magic alive for the people on set.
I totally agree. Yeah, we talked about that. My last podcast was this production designer that's amazing. But yeah, we were just saying how you can like tell a lot of times just watching the movie.
Yeah,
like,
were people having a good time making this or not?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. It's What we had a situation where we had to swap ADs. Oh yeah, go for it. Still good? Yeah, we had a situation where we had to swap ADs. So I just shot 2 features in 6 weeks. We did a 14-day feature and a 12-day feature. And they're pretty big in terms of scale. Like definitely the biggest things that I've done. 20-person crew, 20-person cast, you know, for both movies. And we swapped an AD at the very beginning of the first movie, like the first weekend. And he's a DGA AD, so we knew we were getting like, all right, this guy's gonna help us like keep a tight ship. And the first thing he said like maybe 2 days into the shoot, he was like, "A fish stinks from the head." I was like, I don't know what that means. But he was like, the director, whoever's like heading up the project, like the whole thing, stinks from that one spot. And he was like, people really love being on this set. And I was like, thanks, man. Thanks. But it was the first time I had heard it said like that, but it makes perfect sense. It really does. You set the tone, like number one on the call sheet, like your big actor, and then like your director, like make sure those 2 key positions, people are like hosting a party. Yeah, and the responsibility really does fall back on the director, like no matter what, however the project turns out, however the day turns out, it's always like, if you're the director, you have to take the responsibility for that. And that's where I think, people, I see people, and I was guilty of it, chasing down these projects that need 10, 20, $80 million budgets. Oh yeah. And I'm like, if you haven't made anything, you don't even know what you're doing. First of all, you have no business asking for that amount of money. No. Just going from, so I made $1,000 film. Right. My next film was 56. That was End Trip. $56,000 budget, and these 2 most recent ones were like right in the 200,000 level. Right. The jump from a $50,000 film to a $200,000 film is like 10x in terms of crew and logistics and planning and it's like a full set basically, but with less money. Yeah. And so you're trying to like synthesize this story idea through the minds of 40 people and play host, to everybody. Like, yeah. My God, man. Like, if you don't have a team built out and you don't have some understanding of previous sets to help you get there. Oh, yeah. You wouldn't have any clue. Dude, you would crumble. And I remember having this conversation with a producer recently. He was putting together a film slate, and he was looking for 4 like $1 million budget films. And part of like one of the prerequisites, he was like, I need to know who your first AD is, and I need to know who your lead producer is. And then he had given this like 2-3 hour kind of phone call talk to anybody that was interested in submitting a project for this. Mm-hmm. And somebody asked him, like, why do you care so much about like the AD or the lead producer?
It's a huge job.
And he was like, because I've seen it happen so many times where the director crumbles. Mm-hmm. They have panic attacks. Mm. They're locked in their trailer. They won't come out. And like the AD and the lead producer are the people who have to basically direct the movie.
Damn.
And so
that's crazy.
You need proof of like small projects. You need to go through and everybody wants their just $10 million movie to get bought. Yeah. You know, everybody just like, I wrote the script. It's the best idea in the world. Somebody needs to make it. And it's like.
And first of all, I mean, if it is that great of an idea, it'll get noticed if you're submitting it to places, but most of the time it's really not that well thought out.
100%. 100%. And yeah. And I get fielded those.
And that's from my own experience. You get emotionally attached to this project you've been writing for 2 years or whatever, and then, but if you're being really honest with yourself, you have to look at it before you go waste that money.
Yeah. And that, are you just talking about like screenplay competitions? Or
no, I'm talking about making.
You're talking about actually making it.
Yeah. Oh like God, yeah. You want to make sure that thing is real tight before you you don't want to just be like, just because you wrote a script.
Right.
It doesn't mean that it's worth like that much money to either.
And this is it's an expensive hobby.
Oh yeah.
Filmmaking. It's an expensive hobby. And so, I mean, I talk to filmmakers all the time, and I'm sure there's probably people listening to or watching this that are in this position that have spent $80,000 on like a short film.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I run into it all the time.
Oh, I just worked on, I was production designer on an $80,000 short film.
And then you got to think, like, when you're approaching a project, like, what's the ROI?
Oh, yeah.
And it might not be a financial ROI, but you better damn well be able to prove that if you're going to raise $80,000 for a short film. Like, what is the ROI of this thing?
Yeah. Because
people don't watch short films. Like, you submit them to festivals, they get packaged with a bunch of other short films. You know, you're in a program with 6 or 8 other ones. Yeah. And so you better stand out. You better win that festival if you're going to like recoup an $80,000 budget, or at least get enough out of it to be able to take you to the next step, whatever that is. But I watch people toil away on short films their whole life. Yeah. And then always wondering why they don't have like a directing career out of it, or a feature film career out of it. And it's like,
I think you're right. You just got to go do it.
Go make a feature.
Yeah, go make a feature.
You can damn well make a feature on $80,000 for as the same amount or less effort as an $80,000 short film. Yeah. Like, there's so much that goes into that. So if you can just like, I tell everybody, whether you're an actor, writer, or director, make a feature film, reverse engineer it with what you have available to you right now. People, places, things. Your actors, doesn't even have to be actors, can be non-actors, can be like your interesting uncle that lives down the street who's covered in tattoos.
Non-actors are great.
So great. Yeah. Ramin Barani, Sean Baker, like Deborah Granick, like all these people that made features around real people that were just super, super interesting, and then blew up their careers on those films. Like, it's a great way of doing things. Robert Rodriguez, like, find your turtle, your guitar case, and your like weird props, write those into the movie, but then reverse engineer your story from what you have.
100%.
Do not go outside of that.
I always write around what I know I can film at, or like
exactly. Like
this would. So I'm making a feature this coming summer, and partly inspired by you. You know, like I was wanting to do it already, but like, you know, just like seeing what you're preaching, I'm just like, I'm fucking just go do it. Yeah. But my uncle bought this amazing old schoolhouse in Sweden, And so I'm gonna go shoot it in Sweden.
Yes.
Spend a little more than $1,000, but
but that's the idea.
That's
the idea is $1,000 film. Where it's like,
right.
It doesn't have to be that the budget is $1,000.
No, yeah, right, of course.
But that idea that like we're not fundraising.
Right.
It's an investorless feature. We've got our existing resources, and we're making the movie from that.
Right.
And that's the way to do it, man. Because like, there's something understood industry-wide about feature films. They've got an inherent value that short films don't have. They are a product. They are commoditized. They are traded at festivals. There's an assumed value. Like if I hand you $100, it's worth $100 to me. If I put it in your hand, it's worth $100 to you. That's how features work. And short films just don't do that.
Since I heard you say that, I've like took that to heart too, that advice. I mean, it's so true though. It's like that is a thing that's bought and sold. It's a package. People know a value of it, depending on how good it is.
And end,
and it can be bought and sold. Get it.
And then it's like, okay, so if I just do those enough, keep the love, make the magic, like imbue that into the film, get better at the craft, like just keep doing it. Like you cannot fail.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it sounds so simple, and of course it's hard work and you have to work at it every fucking day, but if it's actually what you want to do, just show up.
Well, and life is hard work.
Life is hard work.
Working a 9 to 5 under some like tyrannical boss pushing paper is fucking hard work.
It's hard work. And then, I mean, the difference between the two is like at the end of your life, you're gonna...
That's exactly how I think about it every time. When I am on my deathbed, replaying my entire life, do I want to have those what ifs?
Yeah.
What if I would have done that? What if I would have done that? No, I want to know that I tried every single thing I could. Doesn't matter if I was successful at it, but just to know that I gave we're here once.
Exactly.
We're here one time. And so and I try and remind people of this constantly, because I've got a lot of filmmakers that come through my program that are like in their 3rd or 4th quarter of life going like, I put this aside for 40 years to do a job.
It's never too late.
And this thing doesn't go away. It's still burning in me to try to make stuff. Like, what do I do? And so I get, the pleasure of walking those people through the process.
That is a pleasure. Yeah.
But the people listening right now that have that fork in the road moment of like, are you at that point where you could either go this filmmaking path or the 40 years of work is always going to be there, like regardless of the decision you make. That's always going to be the backup. You can always go get a regular job. But you only have this allotted amount of time that you don't know how long that is to try and chase being a creator. And you're never going to know if you even like it if you don't try it. And so exactly like you said, go out and make something. See if it's something you like. Make it low stakes. So if it's terrible and you fall on your face, it doesn't cost you anything. Right. It costs you a year of nights and weekends, editing and whatever to realize it was terrible and this job isn't for you. Great, you got off easy.
Yeah.
Because so many people burn decades and hundreds of thousands of dollars chasing this job, and they never get to do anything fun. Right. So you might as well go make a movie for nothing.
Yes. Well said, sir.
That's exciting. So you're going to make a movie in Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just decided to do it, so I'm doing it.
So how long are you going for?
I'll probably be over in that area. I mean, we'll see. But I'd like to be over in that area like almost a month or something. But I'm planning on shooting this feature in like maybe like 4 or 5 days. Yeah. But we're all in one location.
That's what I tell everybody. Yeah. I'm like, if you can do it in under 8 days, like 5 to 8 days, that's like kind of the golden. People are like, how? Yeah. And so if you're looking for tactical ways to keep your production days short, of course, one location makes everything easier. And then limited lighting. Like, I have 2 or 3 little LEDs you can move around in the moment. You can have your little bounce card or your negative fill to create some, contours on the face. But that's it.
Right.
Like, lighting setups are the killer. Lighting setups and company moves.
I totally agree.
So boil it down.
I've been getting like less and less with my lighting. I love just shooting in natural light if I can help it, and just be like, okay, just turn a little this way.
Then it's about composition and camera placement.
Exactly.
It's like cool. Like, you watch documentaries that are fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, totally.
So what is the excuse
they're
that
not
we
lighting
need
shit?
a 10-ton grip truck outside to like help this look pretty? It's like, no, learn where to put a camera, and that's it. Just have good sound.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Like, people will forgive video all day long, but if they can't hear your story, they cannot follow along. That's the easiest way to get somebody to jump off. So
100%.
So that's what I go through with all my filmmakers. I'm like, get these lavs. Right. They're DJI. They've got a 18-hour battery life. They're 32-bit float, so nobody's got to, ride the gain. They plug directly into the camera, so you can. They're auto synced, start and stop. You just put that lav mic on your actor, and you've got good sound. Yeah. Like, just do that bare minimum, and it's like $400,
right? As
opposed to hiring a sound guy for $800 a day, or it's so hard to find sound people for decent rates, and that's because they're worth the money.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Sound
they're
is
holding their arms up like this all day.
Yeah. I had a sound guy explain it to me once on a short film we were making. He said, it's the most important job that you get the least respect for, and the best you hope to get is fine. Nobody ever walks off set going, sound was freaking perfect today. It's like, we caught a train and there was some wind and a scratchy sweater and all, it's like, so it's the most thankless
Everyone's
job.
Always talking about the image, like, that one.
Exactly.
Shot,
Yep. But no, sound gets nothing.
Well, so I think we're going to run out of media in a little bit, but I just wanted to touch a couple of things. Real quick, I wanted to get your thoughts on AI and filmmaking.
Dude, great question,
this
man.
Is just so prevalent, and I think you just have really good insight about that stuff.
Thank you. Dude, I'm bullish on the human experience. I think that's what movies are. And I think as soon as we start letting AI tell our stories, first of all, it's trained on stuff other people made. Right. So it's never going to have a unique thought. Right. So like letting it make decisions for you is dangerous because it's always going to be making decisions based on somebody else's ideas. Right. So, second of all, on the actor's side, actors train for years. Good actors train for years to learn how to like very subtly nuance a story arc throughout their performance. An AI, you can barely get it to do the same thing twice from one shot to another. Like to get an AI actor to do something. So I don't think actors are in that much danger right now of losing their jobs. On the commercial side of things, where it's like Tide, yes, for sure. Like those jobs are going away. As far as features and TV shows, AI actors, Tilly fucking Norwood.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I don't think we have much to worry about. But I will say, for all the filmmakers out there that are looking into AI as a way of like producing their stories, I see it happening already, this tidal wave of AI content coming out just because people are interested in it. So they're out there making things and they're putting them out on the internet. I can't scroll past that stuff fast enough. Yeah. I think curiosity gets me for a half a second, and then I realize how sick it makes me, and I just scroll past it. Yeah. And I know I'm not alone in that. Right. And I know that there are people, like, filmmaking is it's crafts people learning a skill and then putting that skill to set. That is the magic of filmmaking. And as soon as I remember when AI imagery came out, and we were like, oh my God, it can create these cool things just like that artist. It's always just like that artist. It's always like that artist adjacent. That artist, they developed their skill set over the course of years, toiling away in obscurity to become recognizable. Right. The AI did none of that shit. Yeah. It's novelty. I think it's a wonderful tool for productivity. But as far as using it to actually create art, I'm not convinced.
Yeah, I definitely like anything AI created from scratch. I can't scroll past it fast enough either. I am kind of interested in like video to video, which is, you know, like you're actually filming something,
Yeah.
and then AI can like kind of for like a fantastical
I
idea,
think
but
that-
you're still using the real people.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
I
like,
think
you
there's
know,
there's something to be said for like AI VFX.
because that's basically CGI, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
It's exactly.
more
I think
in a box.
I think that there's an application for VFX. I do think it still takes human input.
Oh yeah.
And so that's where
what's
I'm
gonna
like,
make it
okay.
good. Yeah, yeah.
But I will also say, we still good?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. I'll also say, oh, I lost it.
Because it has the human input. Yeah.
I'm submitting to film festivals right now, and there's a new box on every film festival. Is there any AI generated stuff in this film?
Right.
You better fucking believe that unless it's an AI
film
festival,
yeah,
you're probably disqualifying yourself
Totally.
by including that stuff.
Right.
Because it discredits the human effort that goes into making a film.
Totally.
And so you're taking a risk. Like if you're putting AI stuff in your movie right now, like you're taking an actual risk on whether people will find it legitimate or not. And I don't want to be standing on that side of the aisle 10 years from now when people are really making decisions on whether like AI is worth going into to take jobs from artists. I would much rather stay on the side of the human experience, the human craftsmanship that goes into making film. And so I'll take a firm stance on that side.
And I don't think the analog film experience is going away anytime soon. You see these films. I mean, I just saw One Battle After Another, and I've seen it. So good. I think it's the best film of the year.
Oh, 100%, man.
You know,
it's a
that's
masterpiece.
Shot on all film. It's like the most analog thing, you know, and it's so good. It's like,
and the appreciation is there for the artistry. Like, the shots in the hills on those long lenses, getting them pulling focus on the reflection of a car in a thing that's like a half mile away. Like the time spent, you cannot replicate that with AI.
No.
You can't do it. And so part of the appreciation for those shots is the human artistry that went into brute force making those things happen. That is what makes film is special. And you just can't do that with AI.
No. Okay, real quick. 3 favorite films.
Ooh, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh,
forever
amazing.
my favorite.
Really? That's great. Yeah, that's it.
And we're back.
New media!
Card number 2.
So you left Eternal Sunshine.
Oh, yeah. Eternal Sunshine, Terminator 2.
Amazing film.
It's just like you don't see action films like that.
No.
Almost ever, where the story and the characters are just as rich as the action. Like you can watch that movie and even like the day player actors that had like one line are just as good as the leads. Like that is so rare to watch through an entire movie and not get bumped by somebody's performance. Like, they cast that guy because he was the director's nephew or whatever, you just don't get that feeling when you watch that through that movie. The conviction of all of the actors about what's going on with them in that world is just like, it's just so impressive to me. And it's so rare to get a movie like that made. And then Garden State is another one of those that just like
such a good movie. The soundtrack in that too.
He won a Grammy.
Oh
for
yeah,
that
that's
soundtrack.
right. That's right. That's crazy.
Hand curated by Zach Braff.
Yeah. That must have been a big part of the budget because those were all.
Well, and I was listening to. So I'm really glad you brought that up. This is a fun segue because kind of I know a big theme of what we've been talking about is filmmakers with big ideas trying to get those big ideas made versus going to make something they can make now. I was listening to Zach Braff talk about his experience getting Garden State made. So he had been on Scrubs at that point for 2 years. So it was already this like big breakout that he's the lead of. Right. So he's written a role for himself as a lead actor because that's kind of like part of it is if you're going to get a movie made and you got the star power, like you have to star in your own movie. And so that's what he did.
Sure.
He originally had a $6 million budget and he was like, that was the budget for the film. And he was like, part of being on a big show is like people would read it. Like my script would end up on people's desk. $6 million budget, Natalie Portman attached, could not get $6 million to make that movie.
Golly, that's wild. And was that just, do you think, because he hadn't made anything yet at this point? Or?
I think that was part of it. I think... I can only guess why somebody doesn't. And that film turned out to be a massive success. And I don't think anybody really saw that was a possibility with a movie like that. But he ended up having to cut his budget in more than half. So they shot it on 2.75 in 25 days. And then it became a major success. But I say all of that to say, like, if Zach Braff, the star of a major network television show, has a $6 million like low budget script with Natalie Portman attached and can't get that movie made,
why do you think you're going to get
Please take a realistic look at the movie you're trying to make. Because I just think, like, I'm a huge case studies person. Like, I've gone through and done so much research about how careers have started to try and really wrap my mind around, like, what is the best way to increase the surface area of luck for you to actually, like, find some traction in the industry. And so I'm constantly looking at stuff like that, just to see how other people's careers went and try and form just a better idea of, like, what is or isn't possible. Have you heard of Cooper Raiff?
No, I don't think so.
One of my filmmakers suggested his first movie, Shithouse, to me.
Shithouse.
Please
go watch Shithouse.
Ignore the title. Go watch this movie. This kid made a 52-minute short film.
Oh.
Put it on YouTube.
Okay.
Started tweeting J. Duplass every day. I bet you won't click this link. I bet you won't click this link. I bet you won't click this link. Jay clicks, watches his thing, contacts him the next day, and helps him put together the feature version of this movie.
Oh, wow.
$15,000 budget.
Okay.
Still had, like, no production value, like, none of that. It was like Jay helped him find a DP. He still had to raise his own money through his friends and family. Jay was, I think, obviously working on Transparent at that point because one of his co-stars plays Cooper's mom in the movie. Okay. But Cooper's the writer, actor, director.
Okay.
Drops out of college to make the movie. $15,000 budget movie.
Yeah.
Wins Sundance. No, South by.
Oh, okay.
2020. COVID, South by.
Okay.
Next movie, $9 million budget, Cha-Cha Real Smooth, picked up by Apple TV. Next project is, what is the name of it? I forget the name of it. He wrote, directed, starred, created. Him, Mark Ruffalo, a new TV show that just got picked up by Mubi that'll be out later this year.
Okay.
All from this, like... kid in a dorm room making a 52-minute zero budget short film. And then getting it. So, like, I think if I could leave anybody with one thing from watching this whole thing, assuming you've made it this deep into the podcast at this point.
On our second media card.
Yeah. People don't invest in ideas. They invest in proof of voice. You are the artist. You are the investment. It's not the project. It's not the idea. It's not your pitch deck. It's not your script. It's you as an artist. And the faster you can figure out what that voice is, stay true to that. You're going to discover it through making things. You can't really figure it out before you make something. You just discover it through the process of making things. And double down on yourself and your voice, because that's what people show up for over and over again. Nobody's showing up for an AI director, not yet, until somebody makes some incredible piece of AI artwork, and then the director will still be the thing. It won't even be the artwork. It'll be the director who took the time to do that. And that's what the industry invests in, is people, not ideas. So that's...
Yeah, unique points of view.
Yeah. And Cooper Raiff is the perfect example of that. When you watch the short film, which you can still find on YouTube, and you go watch Shithouse, and then you go watch Cha Cha Real Smooth, you can see the through line is Cooper.
Yeah.
It's him. Same way if you look at Christopher Nolan or Greta Gerwig or Mark Duplass or Robert Rodriguez or Kevin Smith, the through line is their unique voice.
Yep.
It's not the idea, it's the way that idea came together around who they were in their artistic POV. So many filmmakers try and become like carbon copies of Tarantino,
and that'll never happen either, because
Tarantino exists.
How are you gonna be better than fucking Tarantino?
Did you guys see that new Tarantino 2 movie?
Yeah.
Like, he's the sequel of Tarantino. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. I mean, no one can out Wes Anderson. Like, he exists.
Exactly. So figure out like what is, and the hard part about it is you can't model after somebody else.
No, that's the hard.
Figure out your own thing.
Right, and that goes into life as well, you know. But especially in filmmaking, you just gotta fucking go out and like figure out what kind of films you want to make and what kind of stories you're going to tell, how you're going to tell them, building a team that can help you tell them.
And you do that project to project. Like every time you make something, you come away with new relationships you didn't have before. And those relationships are the things that help you make bigger and better stuff throughout the way.
Right.
Like the Duplass brothers, throughout their first movie, theirs was an $80,000 budget film.
Wow.
They made a whole film. They tried to be the Coen brothers. They made the whole thing. They realized they weren't the Coen brothers. They never released that movie.
Oh damn!
It's like something marathon or something like that. And they trashed the whole movie, and they went and shot the Puffy Chair for $15,000, and the Puffy Chair launched their career.
Yeah, that's wild.
Sean Baker made a $50,000 budget film that did nothing for him, so he went back and made a $3,000 film.
Tangerine.
No. Takeout was a second film.
Oh, okay.
Then there was a $250,000 budget film that Mark Duplass loved, so Mark funded Tangerine, which was his fourth film. Okay. $100,000 budget film made on iPhone. Won Sundance, and then he got Florida Project, and then Red Rocket, and then Anora. He swept the Oscars.
Right.
So it's like, if Sean Baker can sweep the Oscars 6 films in off the back of a $3,000 film, why isn't everybody chasing this down for themselves?
Yeah, because it's hard.
It's hard. People don't want to do the work.
Right.
But if you are serious about this, go fucking make a $3,000 movie, a $1,000 movie.
That's the way to do it. I love that. That's your message, and I think that should be the message to all filmmakers.
It just puts the power in your hands rather than relinquishing control to the powers that be and assuming you've got to win some competition or something. Right. It's like, it's literally the lottery, and the only person benefiting off of that is them.
You're right.
When you're Sundance and you're getting 10,000 submissions at $200 a piece, and you know you're only programming 100 films, that 9,900 whatever other math times 200, they know they're just pocketing that money off of your dreams. They know they're not programming your movie.
No,
You know, and that's the same thing with screenplay competitions and all those other things, is like, unless you actually are top 1%, you're not going to get in through those routes.
No.
So you could spend so much better time focusing on something you can actually make yourself.
Yep. And you just don't need it to be this grandiose thing. It's about the story. It's about how you tell the story.
Yeah. That's it. It's story. Story's everything.
Story's king.
Story and performance. And like not getting lost in frills, like not playing the Hollywood game. You're not gonna beat Hollywood at Hollywood quality stuff. No. So don't even play that game.
Right. Don't
try and do VFX heavy things or choreography heavy things or crazy period pieces if you don't have the budget to do it right. The audience knows, and it bumps them from paying attention to the story because they're sitting there going, why doesn't this look right?
Look is good.
And so as soon as you remove yourself from trying to play that game and just focus on some simple story, that's the most important, impressive part for people watching, is like, wow, they did this on nothing, and I still like it.
Totally. Yeah, that just made me like think of Slacker with like
Exactly.
Letter. It's just like, yeah,
Find your interesting friends and walk around on the streets and make some weird movie that people can go, hey, did you see that Slacker movie?
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. But like that's what you need is word of mouth.
Right.
You know, you don't have that giant marketing budget at this level, so you need to reach a saturation point of like, I have all my filmmakers read Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans. Have you read this?
No.
It's an article online written by Kevin Kelly, who's just like, he's one of those people that's just like, how are you real? But basically, like, to sum up the idea, it's that if you're an artist, you need 1,000 people to know your name to be like, to be able to make a living. He was like, if you can sell 1,000 things at $50 a year to 1,000 people who know your name, you're making $50,000. You can make a living as an artist. Those 1,000 people are your word of mouth gospel spreaders.
Yeah.
They're going to tell their friend, just like me telling you about Cooper Raiff.
Right.
I'm finding out about him way down the line, but like he's still not a household name. So I'm still doing his missionary work, spreading his artistic gospel to people, because it's like until he reached a saturation point of everybody knowing his name, we all as artists need people to go out and spread that word.
Right.
And so the more fans you can make at this tiny little level, again talking about distribution, on the simplest terms for a first movie is getting 1,000 people to know who you are and bring them to your Instagram page or your email list and let them know about your next movie. That's 1,000 people you can activate every time you make a movie, and that spreads.
Right.
That spreads. Like that's how you build a career.
Yeah. That's the truth in today's age. I think I've listened to a lot of people like that aren't even in filmmaking, but like just in the tech space or whatever, and they're saying the future is not about the likes or it's about the community.
Yeah.
It's, when it comes to that stuff.
Perfect segue. Community.
Yeah.
Like that's what One Grand Film has become, and that's what's so cool. It's like because I think COVID had a huge hand in the digital, sort of explosion of being able to do things from home and remote work. It doesn't force artists to have to move to LA or New York, but the byproduct of that is a lot of artists are stuck in their small towns. And if you don't have examples of success around you to know that it's even possible, you can feel like there's just no way.
Yeah. So
why am I going to go invest in this big, crazy career if there's no one around me doing the same thing and I can't see that it's even possible? And so One Grand Film now is a community online of filmmakers that can all come together a couple of times a week, see that there are people just like them, regardless of where they are, trying to make movies at the same level, trying to get their artistic voice out there. So if you need a community, come to One Grand Film. It's on the School platform. I don't know if you've seen that. School.
I have. Yeah. That's awesome.
And we've got almost 800 people in there now, and it's just growing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be at a couple thousand by next year. So there's even a map feature on there, so you can click the map and you can see where all the members are located, so you can find local filmmakers in. Like, my goal is for filmmakers who feel like us to have a place to go that's a silo. Like, you can find your actors and your writers and your DPs or whoever in this community, and know inherently by them being in that community that they feel the same way you do, so you can automatically bypass all the like, I don't have money. Yeah. Let's just go make something together, and everybody inside this community will feel like you do, and you can just like skip the awkward conversations about not having resources.
Right. Because that's what it's all about. It's just making something for a low budget.
Yeah. And that's obviously the big hiccup with film is it takes resources, it takes people, it takes collaboration, and I think the easy trade-off that people immediately jump to, we live in a capitalist society, is money. And then they go, well, I don't have money. It's like, One Grand Film is built around that. Like, you don't have to have money to make a movie. You need to find the incentive of the artist that you're asking to work with you.
Yeah.
Like, or the motivation of the artist, that what do they need?
Yeah.
It is so rare for an actor to have a feature film just drop in their lap.
Yeah.
That if you're a writer director and you go to an actor and say, hey, I don't have money, but I'd love to give you a lead role in this. I'd love to work with you as a collaborator. I'd love to help showcase what you need in your career. Would you like to work together?
Right.
10 out of 10. Every time you're going to get these actors to say, like, yeah, I want a lead role.
Yeah, totally.
I don't get these opportunities otherwise. And just like actors, there's somebody in every single crew position trying to work their way up that needs those initial first credits. Yeah. And those are the people that you bring onto your project. Yeah. And you grow together. Like, one of the actresses that's in the 2 movies I just shot, Olivia Applegate, she was in Krisha. Have you seen Krisha? Mm-mm. So Krisha went to South by in maybe 2015. Trey Edward Schultz and Drew Daniels. Trey Edward Schultz wrote and directed. Drew Daniels shot it. It's $40,000 budget, shot in one house, single location here in Austin. Very Austin locals. Trey Edward Schultz went off to do It Comes at Night and Waves. Drew Daniels shot Honora.
Yeah, damn.
And these were just like guys at our level, like making something really special together. And now they're at like
next level.
Freaking studio, standing on stage receiving Oscars for stuff. Yeah. And it wasn't based on money. They had a $40,000 budget to shoot this movie. It was never about the money. So finding people that feel like we do, that want to work because they want to be a part of something bigger, that's what I incentivize people to do. And I teach people how to do that in the community, because like we said earlier, it's scary asking people for money. It's even scarier asking somebody to work for you for no money.
Yeah. That is scarier for me.
It's scary, but as soon as you understand that you're offering them an opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise have. Yeah. Like, as the writer, director, creator, you are building opportunity vehicles, and there are more seats than just the driver's seat. And so as long as you're thinking about like, how does every other artist that come onto this project benefit from the project, right, instead of just going like, meal copy credit. Yeah. Oh, cool. You're going to feed me. I'm going to get a copy of the film, and I'm going to get a credit. Yeah. That's bare minimum. Yeah. That's bare minimum. Yeah. But if you can say, I see you as an artist. Mm-hmm. I know you want to, DP level feature films. Yeah. I know you want to be an actor, whatever, like that, then it becomes interesting. And then, yeah. And then it's
that's different.
Yeah. And then it's like, and I'm not going to ask for a month of your time.
Right.
You don't have to quit your job.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah. It's I need you for 5 days. Right. Now we're talking. That's an easy trade. Yeah, sure. I'll take 2.5 weekends to shoot a movie. Right. And then you bond over that experience. Mm-hmm. And like, those are the people that you'll grow with forever. Like you see everybody says Adam Sandler. He always works with his friends. That's everybody. Yeah. Everybody works with the same. Like, if your people are available, you're going to work with your same people all the time. Yeah, yeah. And so like the earlier you can start to build your film family, the faster you can all move. Like, high tides raise all ships. That's one of like my founding principles for One Grand Film is like, everybody grows together. Like Octavio, he's releasing his first film. He's working on his second film. We're still super tight. We're like on that artistic wavelength where when we need somebody to go to say like, hey, do you understand this idea? Like, we're both right there for each other. And I know that 10, 20 years from now, when he's standing on Oscar stages, we'll still have that connection. But those relationships start right now. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and people are gonna hold it near and dear to their hearts that you taught them a lot of these foundational qualities, and you're connecting all those people too. Thanks, man.
So I love what you're doing. What you tell people where they can find you and stuff. Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at One Grand Film. My personal page is at Aaron J. Rome, AronJayrome, and then we are on School with a K, SKOOL, at OG Film School with a K.
And yeah, we've got at the time of this recording, we're doing a 7-day free trial. So you can come in, take a course for free. There's an investorless feature film course on there that is like, I think, really reshaping the way people are approaching their careers. I'm getting a lot of wonderful feedback on that. And so if you're just like confused and you feel stuck and you're, how do I move forward from wherever I'm at, I would say come and do the free trial, check out that course. And you're either going to know by the end of that course whether this is the path for you or you're going to run from the hills, but you'll have clarity around where to go and like what steps to take.
Right. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Dude, it's always a pleasure. Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll stack the cards deeper next time.
yeah.
We'll put it on 480p so we can record for like 4 hours. Thanks, dude. This has been awesome.
Yeah, peace.